So this is homework number 15, page 115 through 116, numbers 37 through 41. And in this problem, we have to describe and correct the error in evaluating the expression when m equals to 8. So in other words, we have to look at this little expression, the one that you see in a box in your book. It's 5m plus 3. And you have to analyze this little box here where they've already plugged in 8 for m, and it seems like they have a mistake when they plugged in m for 8. So now let's check where their mistake happened. So go ahead and copy this expression on the right, 5m plus 3. And we're going to plug in 8 for m. And bring everything down. So now, if we recall PEMDAS, we first have to do the grouping symbols, right? So we first have to multiply 5 times 8, which will give us 40, and then bring the rest down. Now we can see that they successfully plugged in 8 for m, but in the second line, they actually added first the 8 and the 3, giving them 11, and then they decided to multiply 5. But that's actually wrong. Because if we follow PEMDAS, we would have to first multiply 5 times 8, which gives us 40, and then add 3, which in total makes up 43. So we can say that in step 2, they did an error, when the correct answer should be 43. That's number 37. Now moving on to number 38. 38 is a little word problem, and it says, you earn $15N for mowing N lawns. So N, the variable N, is unknown. And it asks, how much do you earn for mowing 1 lawn? Or 7 lawns? So first, we're going to identify the key terms that were given that we must understand. So we have this little expression, 15N, and that's in dollars, for mowing what? N lawns. So this is the unknown, N, right? The variable. So let's go ahead and describe or identify what the variable is for. So N stands for what? Lawns, right? For mowing N lawns. So N stands for lawns. And 15N would be what you earn, right? Total earnings for mowing lawns. That's the expression 15N. So 15N represents the total amount of earnings for mowing lawns, and N represents only lawns. And they're asking you how much do you earn for mowing 1 lawn and 7 lawns? So we're going to do 2 little expressions for that, or we're going to substitute different values, because N represents lawns, right? So first, let's go ahead and find out how much would you earn by just mowing 1 lawn. So that would be using this expression, right? 15. And then if N represents lawns, we're only going to solve for 1 lawn. So that's 15 times 1, which is equal to $15. So that one's done. Check. How about for 7 lawns? So we have the same expression, 15N, but in this case, instead of substituting 1 for N, we're going to substitute 7, right? Because we're asking for 7 lawns, and remember that N equals to lawns. And if you multiply 15 times 7, it should give you $105. So we have already found how much they should be earning for mowing only 1 lawn, and how much for mowing only 7 lawns, which is 105. Now number 39. 39 says, after m months, that is the unknown, right? Because we don't know how many months. After m months, the height of a plant is 10 plus 3m millimeters. So this describes the height, this little expression. 10 plus 3m is the height of a plant, right? How tall is a plant after 8 months and 3 years, right? So first, we can go ahead and solve for 8 months because we already know that m represents months, right? So it's already in months. So let's go ahead and do that one. So we have the little expression 10 plus 3m. And if we want to find out 8 months, we're just going to go ahead and plug in 8 for m, right? So it's 10 plus 3, and always go ahead and include parentheses when you're substituting in new values. So then, recalling PEMDAS, you first have to do the grouping symbols, right? Which is 3 times 8, which is 24, plus 10 is what? 34, right? So then at the end we can say that after 8 months, the plant's new height is 34 millimeters, right? That's the first part, 8 months. But now we have to go solve the trickier part, which is 3 years, because if you recall, we can't just plug in 3 into m. Why? Because m is in what? It's in months. So we first have to convert 3 years into months. So 1 year includes how many months? 12, right? And if I want to find out for 3 years, then I'm going to go ahead and multiply 3 years to 12 months, right? And 12 times 3 years is what? 36 months. So now we can go ahead and plug in a value for m. So we would use the same expression, 10 plus 3m, but now we would go ahead and substitute 36 months, because 36 months is equivalent to 3 years. So 3 times 36 is 108. And I'm not a mathematician. I didn't just suddenly come up with that number. I multiplied it before. That's how I know. So 3 times 36 is 108. And then you go ahead and add the 10. And together, we're going to get 118. So we would say that after 36 months or 3 years, the new height of the plant would be 118 millimeters.